Hi guys, so in this video I'm going to tell you how one should introduce figurative language to kids, okay? So the first key for that would be picture books, okay? Picture books really help kids to understand figurative languages because they have to identify exactly which figurative language this book is talking about, which style they have adopted in their writing. And when the child uses different forms of figurative language, their writing enhances. You will always see that this child's writing is better than the other one because this child has used all the six forms of figurative language. Okay, so for example, I got this material from just Google. I just Googled it, and this material popped up, so I took a print out of this one. So, like these are actually known as mentor text. So when you read the book How to Teach Writing to Kids by Anna Giger, she also talks a lot about mentor text because obviously it's one of the terminologies that one has to use during the writing workshop. So for example, for mentor text, so let's say for instance that we are teaching figurative language for this month, okay, and the first figurative language that we want to teach the child is, say, personification. So how one gonna teach the child? Because you have to teach the concept, and then you have to teach the child to identify it, and then you have to ask the child to use it in their writing. Okay, so I got these from STPT. Okay, I'm gonna share by which author it is. Okay, so it is by Kraus in the Schoolhouse. Okay, you can get it from her, and it's a figurative language pack. It has all the forms of figurative languages, be it simile, metaphor, alliteration, everything there. And how one, like this is something that I had no idea of, and if we teach it in this way, kids, they pick it up so well. So personification ka, we have the definition here, and then we have the illustrations. Okay, younger kids, they have a good photographic memory, right? And so they can relate to the pictures so well that we should use that more often. So sun peeked from behind the cloud. So personification is when you add human traits to a non-living thing. Okay, so sun can't say peekaboo, right? It can't peek, right? It is not possible. But this is how personification works, and if you use such certain things, like specifically this style in your writing, your writing piece will stand out. So see, this is a figurative illustration and this is a literal illustration. Okay, what is the difference? Figurative illustrations you will just have the drawing, and in literal illustration it will have a dialogue. Okay, now see, look at this one. So initially you have to teach your child exactly what personification is. Read out these flashcards, and then they have the worksheets. So these are the worksheets. Okay, and then you provide them with the books. Okay, for example, the day the crayons came home and the day the crayons quit has actually been personified. Okay, and I got the list from the same Google resource that I was talking about. So these are the list of other books which has been written in which has adopted this form of language, this personification. So the day the crayons quit, the crayons they act as a human and they go on strike. It is not possible for a non-living object like crayons to actually do certain things, but you have personified and you have made your story so interesting. Okay, so this is I'm just giving you an idea of how one should start. So you introduce the topic, and then you do the worksheet, and you read only these books with your kids. Okay, so these books, picture books, are so helpful. First, it helps your child to read independently, and then it helps your child for writing. Isn't it great? Yeah. So if you are not collecting the books, because it is not possible to have the entire list that is mentioned here, I'm going to tell you something that is really wonderful, and we also do that. So there is link, that is openlibrary.org, and I'm going to share that in the comment section as well. There you get access to all the books. All the books, you just borrow the books online. Yes, it's an ebook, and you borrow them and then you read it with your child. So if you don't have these books, don't worry. Okay, you get that free, absolutely free. So that is how one should start with. Okay, so for example, if I talk about alliteration, so what is alliteration? Alliteration is like in your sentence every word is starting from the same alphabet. Okay, so it had couple of examples over here, And if you don't find this, you just write it on Google, books on alliteration, books on metaphors, picture books, sorry, yeah, picture books on alliteration, and you get list of books, and whichever ones you have with you, you can use that, and the ones that you don't have, you can just use this link, that is openlibrary.org, and you can get access to all these books. Okay, so there are a couple of books that is recommended, right? So even if you just read 5 of them, it's okay, because your child will get a hang of exactly how personification sentences are, how personified sentences are. Okay, so let us have a look at this one. Okay, so I really like here is same book is helping the child in so many ways. Okay, so first I used it for phonics, and then I used it for reading, and now I'm using it for writing. So b b b a a a. So all the words, look, it starts with A. Okay, Aunt Annie's alligator. Suppose we have E, air, egg, elephant. So in that book, I'll always get back to the book because I want to give you a link from what I have learned from that book. So they have this mentor text, and they want the child to make their own writing piece. So the child can make an ABC book, counting book, okay, poetry book, so many things. So you can actually ask your child to make an ABC book by asking your child to write ABCD on every page, and whatever word that comes to their mind from that alphabet, they just need to write it down. Something like how we have animal poems in the poetry workbook that I showed you. I'm going to show you again in the next resource, in the next video. So this was everything about figurative language, and I would recommend you to have this worksheet by Cross in the schoolhouse. Look like how they're teaching idioms, like it's raining cat and dog, so the child has to draw it, color it, and use it in different ways. And over the moon means you're happy. So this is really nice. You should have this, particularly this one, with you. Okay, so I am done with the figurative language, and now I'm going to show how one should motivate a child to write. Okay, in my next video, it's going to be on how to motivate a child to write. So thanks for watching, guys.